Hello, Sports Mockery fans. My name is Aldo Soto, and I am here with the latest Kris Bryant rumors. Ooh, baby, did the Nationals make a complete joke of their media press conference today? Let's get to it. As always, support Sports Mockery by subscribing to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our breaking news coverage, more rumor talk, and almost daily gambling content. And for all the up-to-the-minute news on the Bears, Bulls, Cubs, White Sox, and Blackhawks, visit the website sportsmockery.com. Alright, so, are the Nationals trying to trade for Kris Bryant? Yes or no? It depends on who you ask. Dave Martinez, their manager? Or Mike Rizzo, their GM? They don't even know. Okay, so you know the deal by now, Cubs fans. You know, as uncomfortable or as mad as you can get about the conversations, about all the rumors, all the speculation, by all the informed guys, you know, talking about the Ken Rosenthal's, Jeff Passan, John Heyman, all the top reporters on MLB. Cubs have been trying to trade Kris Bryant, or, you know, at the minimum, they've been actively listening on trade offers, going back to last offseason. And, of course, one of the teams that has been connected to him for, you know, since last offseason have been the Washington Nationals. You know, it's basically been almost every team from the NL East has been at one point linked to possible being interested in a trade for Kris Bryant, except for the Marlins. But, you know, the Nationals were one of the big team that keeps coming up, too. And that's extended to this offseason as well. You know, despite there being all the speculation early on about, you know, the Cubs are going to make a big move, Kris Bryant's on the block, you know, Javi Baez can leave, you know, there's the whole Schwarber speculation, and as we found out, Schwarber was non-tendered. But, you know, is that going to be the biggest move that the Cubs make? Just, you know, changing the offense by changing the bat that you're going to get in the outfield, not Schwarber, maybe get a guy like Jacob Bradley Jr., somebody else, Eddie Rosario, something like that. Or are they going to make, like, real big changes and, you know, trade a guy like Kris Bryant? And is it fueled by just the money? Like, is it just like the Cubs are so desperate that they're going to try to, you know, chop off a big chunk, which is, you know, Kris Bryant's going to make about $20 million in his last year of arbitration. However, besides all the general trade rumors and the speculation, there's been like two teams, I guess. The Red Sox have been the other ones, but the Nationals were like the first team this offseason. They were the first team that were linked to the Cubs, again, for Kris Bryant. And, you know, again, no surprise, they were one of the teams that were interested in him last year. So it's no surprise that they remain interested. And why wouldn't you be Kris Bryant when he's healthy? He's been 900 plus OPS guy. He's been solid, just a good player. I can't get it. I'm not going to get into it. The injuries have just derailed the last few years for him. He's still a good player, damn it. Anyway, so the Washington Nationals, again, they've popped up. How serious are they? Last year, you know, Cubs fans thought, you know, if Cubs do trade Kris Bryant, maybe you can get a guy back like Victor Robles. You can plug him in center, feel confident that he's going to be an elite defender in center field, and then you hope the bat performs eventually, because you know that his offensive numbers just haven't been that good. But he's still young. You know you're getting defensively good speed, great defense, and you hope the bat you know, rises. But as I noted in last week's video, talking about MLB.com's trade proposals for Kris Bryant, and, you know, just kind of weighing what the national perspective was on what Kris Bryant's trade value is. It's not that high right now. And, you know, obviously this 2020 year didn't help, the injuries, the money. Obviously teams are going to use the money as an excuse to be like, oh, well, he's going to make this much, we're going to make the return less. But in that MLB.com article, the Nationals offer was just atrocious. And again, a reminder, the Nationals do not have a top 100 prospect. So, you know, throw in as many prospects as the Nationals want for Kris Bryant. Like, none of them are at an elite level here. So on Tuesday, the Nationals talked to the media. And we had Dave Martinez, former Cubs bench coach, you know, left to become the Nationals manager. Won the 2019 World Series, and, you know, he was asked, and the conversation came up of, what are the options the Nationals have been exploring to, replace Anthony Rendon's production. Obviously, Rendon left after 2019, signed that big deal with the Angels. The Nationals then signed a couple guys, Starlin Castro, to try to fill in, but he's just not that top guy to place in your middle of your lineup to replace the production that they're getting from Rendon. He said that, yeah, Kris Bryant has been talked about. He's come up in conversations as a guy who can, possibly be had in a deal with the Cubs. And then I'm not sure the exact time frame, but later in the day, Nationals GM Mike Rizzo, he speaks to the media. He has his press conference, and he says, "Whoa, hold on a minute. We have not talked about Kris Bryant in a few years." Just pretty hilarious, you get the manager saying like, "Yeah, no, we talked about Kris Bryant," and then Mike Rizzo immediately goes, "Whoa, no, push him way back, deny everything. We haven't talked about Kris Bryant in a couple years." Hilarious situation there with the media and those two guys talking. But Rizzo also went out to say, he's like, again, we haven't talked about Kris Bryant in 2 years, and he goes, it's not smart for us to give up 3 to 4 prospects for a guy that we're only going to have for 1 year. And again, Kris Bryant's going to be a free agent after 2021. But you can kind of read read in between the lines there with Mike Rizzo and be like, that was a very kind of specific number. Well, I guess general. He just threw out a range there, but he's like, we can't give up 3 to 4 prospects for a guy for 1 year. Kind of makes you think the Cubs and Nationals have talked about a Kris Bryant deal involving 3 to 4 prospects, maybe. Obviously the Cubs are going to be asking for a lot. They're not just going to give up Kris Bryant for nothing, which is smart. Again, through all the trade rumors, it has always been that the Cubs have been asking for a lot, which they should, even if it's just 1 more year. If you're going to give up a guy who's been like your best player on the team since he came up, you're going to ask for a lot, even if it is for 1 year. The asking price should remain high. All the criticism about his numbers, it's been because of like fluke injuries, but like a bad slide 1 year, like a random knee injury, and then 2020. 20 was just complete, just a shit show. 2020, I don't buy anything ahead in 2020 with the struggles or guys having career years or anything like that. But again, 60 game year, whatever. But like I said before with the Nationals, there's no big prospect there. You're not going to trade Kris Bryant for like their number 3 prospect and be like, yeah, feel confident about that. Like, no. And again, they shouldn't. And last week, I guess if you're worried about the Cubs trading Kris Bryant, again, you're not going to have guys like flat out come and say and deny that there's trade rumors or deny that 100% chance this guy isn't going to trade it. But Jed Hoyer talked to the media and he said, everyone thinks that it's a sure thing that Kris Bryant's going to be traded. It's not. You're talking about a superstar player who just had a down year. He said, he's not the only player who had a down year, so we can fully expect Kris Bryant to bounce back and be his normal self in 2021, which is completely. That's completely realistic. Again, every time Kris Bryant's played a full healthy year, he's been fantastic. Even in 2019 when he had that knee injury for like 6 weeks from the end of July through the first week of September, he was fantastic. He was like on pace to have like a career year. It's frustrating, I guess, because in terms of the fan perspective, I get it. We love Kris Bryant, but the reality is that if there is a good offer, he might be dealt. But I guess the good news, if you want to frame it this way, the good news is that the Cubs probably aren't getting good trade offers right now. So we're going to be at that. I don't think the Cubs should trade him because the trade value is just too low right now. You don't sell. It doesn't make any sense to sell low. And hopefully they do keep him, and hopefully all this money stuff gets resolved. MLB seems kind of optimistic about the COVID-19 vaccine going out to most of the country, and they're talking about they haven't set a date for opening day for 2021, so maybe they're going to delay that to have as many people go to games as possible to drive up those revenues. If that happens, maybe teams aren't as scared to spend money. And for the Cubs, maybe that means that if Kris Bryant gets back to normal and he's healthy and he's putting up those big numbers again in 2021, maybe there's talks of an extension with him, or maybe in free agency the Cubs are like, you know what, we believe in you. We have to deal with all the other guys making, and maybe they move on from like a Baez. Like, we're going to commit to you if that happens. We'll see, but let us know what you think. Should the Cubs trade Kris Bryant right now? Should they keep him? Should they just ride it out and, be in danger of losing him and letting him walk for nothing in free agency? Should they wait and see next year and trade him to see if his trade value goes up? Let us know. Leave a comment. Visit the website, sportsmockery.com, and make sure to follow us on all the social medias at Sports Mockery. My name is Aldo Soto, and until next time, have a good one.